Hey, what's up everyone, and this is the Gundam Exia. I'm glad to see Gundam 00 getting some real great love. It's about time. And personally, I would like to see 00 get the sort of attention from Bandai that Seeda's been given over the last couple of years. But I'm a skeptic, and somehow don't see anything more than a real great 00 Gundam on the horizon, regardless of Gundam.info's polls or Hobby Japan's renders. Even though I would love to be wrong, I want as much 00 kits as anybody. Also, is it a coincidence that Exia is just released after Build Fighters finished up? There's already an RG Strike Gundam. How about a real great Exia Dark Matter and Build Strike? Bandai does like reusing molds. But anyway, onto the review. So first, onto aesthetics, and keeping up with the level of quality the real grade line has set so far, Exia looks amazing. The proportions are perfect, and Exia's awesome wide shoulders to narrow waist design has never looked better. And there's been quite a few small yet effective redesigns here compared to the Master Grade. Again, as usual with an RG kit, the colors are also fantastic, and I especially like how the blue has been broken up into two slightly different shades. Moving in a bit closer, and those are without a doubt the best looking clear parts I've ever seen on a model kit, and have a nice, slightly opaque pearlescence to them. The holographic parts on the shoulders look much more subtle than what we've seen before, and the decals also add quite nicely to the overall design as well. The blues, reds and yellow are vivid, and the real grade two-tone white looks epic as always. Exia's head unit looks great for 1:144 kit, and the color separation here is astounding. I did have some trouble with the head during assembly, but I'll talk about that more later on in part 3. A closer look at some of the details, and the clear green parts look great, especially on the arm and the head. It seems the smaller size creates a nicer pearlescent effect, as the larger ones on the legs and the GN drive in the chest look a little clearer. Again, another look at the awesome light grey on white separation of the white parts. Something I would like to see brought to the Master Grade line, but somewhat disagree. The decals also look nice, especially on the left shoulder and chest sections. There are also some blue decals for adding to the white sections to break up that monotony further. Like what we've seen on some other RGs in the past, there are a few nice metallic stickers for the joints. The holographic sections look great and are very eye-catching, but it's a shame that the RG inner frame is so prone to seam lines and nub marks. So let's check it out in comparison to its older brother, the Master Grade Exia. And this is the ignition mode version of that kit, and it's still one of my favorite kits today. I like the larger, pointier shoulders and the thicker, more powerful legs on the real grade, but its squished, clunky torso doesn't look as good as that of the Master Grade. I like that you can see more of the grey inner frame on the real grade, especially in the upper legs. And the greens pop a lot more on the real grade as well, and of course the two-tone white trumps the standard white of the Master Grade any day. As for the head units, again the clear green and two-tone white look much better on the real grade, as well as the color separation on the back of the head. But those foils on the head cameras look like absolute ass compared to the clear decals on the Master Grade, and the eyes are better on the Master Grade as well. I prefer the thinner style of holographic parts on the real grade, but the visual effect doesn't look as good. On the legs the clear green looks about the same, but on the head the real grade wins by a long shot. Now onto some height comparisons. And here it is side by side with the Master Grade. Next to another real grade, and this is the RG Zephyranthus. And next to a Gundam 00 Robot Mashu figure, and this is the 00 Gundam, as I don't have an Exia to compare it to. Now moving along swiftly to accessories. As well as Exia, there's the GN Sword, GN Shield, the GN Long and Short Blades, 4 beam sabers for attaching to the mobile suit, and 2 which can attach to the hands, as well as the effect parts for the beam sabers and the beam daggers. We also get 3 pairs of alternate hands, the base adapter, and the scale figure of Setsuna. As well as the fists, we get some standard real grade hands, hands for holding the weapons, and some widespread dynamic hands. Next is the scale figure of Setsuna, which has some really weak legs. Onto the weapons, and first is the GN Shield, which has some really nice detail on the rear section there, and also looks pretty good around the front section as well. There's a couple of included decals for on here, but I just went with the Celestial Being logo. There's not a whole lot to this shield, and the only thing you can do with this is adjust this section here on the rear to change where on the shield attaches to Exia's arm. And to attach that, you just insert this part here into this slot on Exia's forearm like so. Next is one of my all-time favorite mobile suit weapons, the GN Sword. Thankfully the real grade version has a chromed blade like the ignition mode Master Grade, and it looks great. This weapon is awesome. It's like the Gundam equivalent to Squall's Gunblade from Final Fantasy VIII. It has a lot of moving parts as it has a couple of different forms. The shield section can move around quite a bit. The blade can flip down to the bottom like this to expose the beam rifle, and the handle can be adjusted to this angle to use it more like a traditional sword. And just a quick comparison to the master grade version. To attach it, the shield section connects to the forearm, and the handle slots into the hand using the weapon holding hand. And that just looks awesome on there. As for the beam sabers, they attach onto the back of the Gundam at these 4 points, like so. And to attach them to the hands, using the handles with a small connection point, they just attach into the hands like this here. Next, the GN blades, also chromed, which can attach into the hands or to these sections here on the hips, pulling them out and flipping out this little grey section, and they can attach on like this. They have a hexagonal hole, so they can attach at different angles and won't spin around. And this is what the real grade Exia looks like, fully equipped. So that's it for part 2, thanks for watching. Make sure to come back for part 3 where I'll be looking at posability and quality, as well as giving my final verdict.